All right. Well, I think that we're recording there. Rapasaurus, Rapasaurus, doop 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 doop. Rapasaurus, Rapasaurus, doop 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 doop. Rapasaurus, Rapasaurus, Rapasaurus. Yeah, I think on this beautiful Sunday morning, I shall be editing on my lonesome. I just feel like that's where we're at. Let me see. All right, cool. So we're online on Twitch and also on YouTube, which is what I had planned all along for this endeavor. Let me wait a second for it to generate a fucking Earl. Ugh. Feels so much better than I did yesterday morning. Yeah, we missed yesterday. I got called to DJ an emergency party and was just like profoundly hungover. God, this is taking fucking forever to do its thing. Over and over, over. Yeah, for whatever reason, this machine. Hold on, is it on? It's not on a VPN. I don't know what to tell you. Why it's taking all day there, but finally I got the Earl. All right, there we go. So I can just start letting people know where it's at. I got two turntables and a microphone. All right, there we go. I think Logic is also tore up at the moment, but anyhow, we proceed just the same. And not apropos there. But honestly, as helpful as viewers are and so forth, not especially necessary early on a Sunday morning. And I think a lot of the next chapter is going to be doing some of that like in-depth, painful work right there. Oh, what's up, Eric? Yeah, I didn't expect to get anybody up in here. So we did chapter 1, which is we set up one of our. None of these people as a protagonist. They're both secondary plot driving characters there. Yeah, I think we meet the protagonist in the next scene. Yeah, I think. So this is Rapasaurus by Zagzy Wisey. We're going to edit chapter 1.2 here. So we've gotten to page 5 in our endeavor. We spent a few days editing the first chapter, which is the most important chapter in your book, because that's where somebody makes the decision, I'm going to pick this up, or I'm going to put it down, or what have you there. Haven't been around to fix my shitty writing. Well, we can't really fix anything. We can just slightly improve through countless iterations, and then eventually, like, throw up our hands and be like, all right, this is going to have to be it there. Oh, this is garbage. Yeah. Honestly, for the most part, the criticism that this is shitty writing, definitely you could levy it at this particular novel because it's real hacky, and it was meant to be like a hacky novel all along. But how far does this go? Oh, god damn. All right. So that dialogue is no good. It doesn't say where the God, it's all shit that I've learned like later in writing. So we enter the paragraph where this guy's like, I swear on my name, blah blah blah, and the reader has no idea who they are, what they're doing. Uh, and we immediately turn this into fucking, which is great. That's really a way to catch your reader. I think it's so soon that people like roll their eyes almost immediately. So, chapter needs almost like an entire rewrite. So as we're rewriting, let's think about the point of view. And the logical point of view for this chapter is carrying on the point of view that we established in chapter 1, where it's this character, Revelry Ramos or whatever. Then, so that's a possibility there. We introduce a new character named Elsh. His name is misspelled fucking here. I can't believe I decided to undertake this one. I should have just kept writing short stories, or at least if they're not good, you're not saddled with them for half of a fucking year. But honestly, if we keep our eyes on the prize, this one is pretty good once we get into it. Mm-hmm. 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 Uh, El is one of the names of God in the Bible. Yeah, well, doesn't he have like 100 of those motherfuckers? Or 999 names? Yeah, I don't understand why they settled on Yahweh. Like, that just sounds like something that somebody would yell out the side of a truck, while they're, Yahweh! You're like, okay, that guy's drunk as fuck. Just putting it out there. Jehovah sounds like a little better to me because it makes me think of Final Fantasy VII. But El Shalah is a cool character, though, once we get into him, but this is not the way to introduce him. Huh. I like, I was just about to write that it fell on deaf ears, and I was just like, hey, what if I just made that character deaf for no fucking reason? You imagine this is the beginning of a 700-page book, and like making that character deaf would be roughly about 4,000 edits down the road, just off of this, like, oh yeah, it works with the pun. No. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Having disabled characters is so fashionable right now. I already did. I wrote that whole book about the old wizard who was going blind, where it was just really more of a parable about aging and coming to grips with it. But yeah, everybody. I mean, honestly, so part of the allure of disabled characters is like a lot of epic fantasy and so forth, and I'm definitely guilty of this. They have huge power creep in their characters, to the point where they're not relatable because they can just solve any problem with their like magical fucking powers or their sword of omnislaying or whatever they are. And because like initially as a writer, so much of what you're doing is just wish fulfillment. It's kind of jejune, like, oh, my own life sucks, so let me channel into this book, which is where I think most people get their start in writing. They're not happy with the world around them, and they want to imagine one that's more. Wouldn't it be cool if this thing happened, right? It's the foundation of writing. I don't want to shit on it, but essentially, things like putting in a clearly defined weakness for a character is a great way to improve. Give them some challenges, and a lot of people can relate to weakness. Very few people can relate to like spanning the galaxy and crushing entire planets with your will alone. I mean, I can, but it's just me. Cripples are a big market. Yeah, let me see. Well, we were thinking last night about one of our amigos that was just like in a horrible car wreck, and he's not going to be walking for a while. He's on all kinds of dope, and yeah. And I was just thinking about like how fucking isolating it is when you can't like get up and walk around, and where all the people who see you, it has to be couched in like this pity, like, oh, that fucking sucks, dude. Sorry to hear that. And you just like want to be whole again. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that one. But this book is never going to market to the type of people who think it's fashionable to include just like token minorities and sexualities and gender identities and all that horseshit. This is not their book, man. I can't reach those people any way, shape, or form. I've never really tried to capture that market, and I think it would come across very disingenuous if I tried. So I just try to write books for fucking white dudes that work in IT. Basically, that's my target market. uh, or just basically old fucking nerds of any stripe. Enjoy it there because there's plenty of shades of unfuckable dudes in IT that are happy to read these. They don't just have to be the whites. Mm-hmm. The white guys who rip off IT companies, that's my bread and butter right there. Oh. I mean, any IT work is basically just a ripoff, right? Like no matter what you do in the field, or what your profession entails, like half of your day is spent fucking jacking off on the internet. I don't care what you do. Like if you work for NASA, they make millions of dollars off of Cisco and could give you some of that dough. He never really gave me any of that dough. I didn't realize that he was balling like that. MTW's contribution was $20 a show, and that's it. And there was never like any huge cash payout or anything, despite the many hours of entertainment we provided him with. And that's part of why, like, I think nobody's reached out to him or hit up his commissary or anything like that. Nobody went to interview him for ENN or whatever. Everybody was just kind of like, good riddance. And, every time that happens, you think about yourself, like, hey, what are people going to do if I go to jail? Like, will people write me letters? Will people reach out to me? And I feel like I would be in kind of the same boat. Like, not a lot of people would care. And that's the price that you pay for being, like, a cold and arrogant cocksucker, really and truly. So, millions of dollars. I don't think he got to keep much of that, honestly. I think it was mostly just the Russian dudes that were using him as a pawn. But let me. So this is taking place in a fucking wizard's tower. So how am I gonna describe this? Yeah, really. All throughout the book, I think um, I have like a weird kind of myopia where I start describing the action of the scene, and I never really like put in a description of where events are taking place. I never establish a setting throughout the book, and it's you can't do that with like an epic fantasy novel. Like setting is important. The stage matters. So let me think about what this room would look like. I like that actually. All right. You hear that air conditioner in the background? That sounds like fucking sneakers flowing through MT. Oh, well, shout out to sneakers in MTW's washing machine, just pumping in the background. It'll be like that all summer. We were so spoiled, like during the winter, where I could just sit here and it's like relatively cold. Someday I'll have like a big climate controlled studio where I'll have like acoustic baffling and everything, and just more microphones than anybody has ever seen. But for right now, I'm pretty blessed with the shit I do have. Like looking around me, it really is like a wonderland of dials and lights and gizmos and so forth. This is what I like. Um, so what we're doing here, we a couple of things that a couple of goals that I have with this chapter. I want to establish Rebel as more of a sympathetic character and have him do a few things that humanize him. Similarly, I want the El Shala character to be relatively bitchy. I want to introduce some more flaws in that character, but at the same time keep her somewhat relatable and so forth. So we got some work ahead of us with our characterization. Let's see. What is IIOS? EOS. Keyboard problems. I'm like, oh, is that like an important acronym I need to know about writing? And it's just fucking keyboard's fucking up. As usual. Uh, Elshala blinked. She swept her eyes around the bedchamber to remind him they were alone and there was no need to shout. But Revel was oblivious, as usual. I like that he's rambling on. That's a good point, though, on the M dash and comma. I'm going to give you a point for that right there. So this is day 3. Oh, fuck. Oh, we didn't... yeah, there we go. So, hold on. Let's reformat that. And then let's go up to era. It's your very first point in the new novel. No, we're not in Omniscient. We're in third person limited. I never write in Omniscient. Not you have to be like so much stronger of a writer than I am to do Omniscient. It really third person Omniscient should come with a warning like don't fucking do this, and it should just go out to like every new writer. I think everybody's first pieces should all be in first person, just because people just do such a poor job with POV. All throughout this book, you will find chapters with split POV where we're shading into third person. Hold on, I got to turn down this microphone. I'll be right back. Uh-huh. All right. That's a little bit better. Yeah, we were just running a little bit hot there. So I haven't decided whether we're gonna redo this POV in this chapter with the Revel character or not. It makes a lot more sense to slip into the El Shala character because Revel was generally in multi POV fantasy novels, and this is a new chapter. Generally, you don't do multiple. It's usually just a POV rotation a little bit. And early in the novel, we can establish this here. So I think I'm going to try shifting it to her POV so we get a better look at this character and just to kind of establish who she is a little bit, too. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. We're going to swap this to her POV. And just show her like utter disinterest in his antics. because ultimately this like slips into, I think it slips into a sex scene and then a robbery. So yeah, it's stronger as a choice here. Um, the Then we have to like explain what she fucking looks like. Character introductions are like a little bit chancy. Um, just making sure we should know the intentions of her glance around the room. Yeah, while we were throwing that sentence together, this is like me making up my mind. I want to go this route. Um, you can a little bit fudge that, in my opinion. Like you can fudge um, showing intent with a line like that. Like this, um, she does this to remind this blah blah blah. That doesn't necessarily break out of the POV, but it is like muddying the waters of like who's actually on first here. So it's a good thing to think about. But uh, uh-huh. Okay, so let's establish the what do you call those like wood grid ceilings? You know what I'm talking about? Holy shit! Yeah, I think my Wi-Fi. Yeah, so this kind of thing right here, this paneled ceiling, uh, coffered ceiling is what we call it. All right, I like that. Yeah. So we gaze upon this guy. Yeah, wood coffered ceiling. Yeah, this is how I'm like envisioning it. Faux wood beams. Yeah, like people are gonna have to get that insect protein wood because apparently trees are unaffordable at the moment. Yeah, I like this. Oh, actually, we can pull a lot from this image right here. So this is taking place in a wizard's tower. So yeah, like some of this is a little bit what I would let us design your next coffered ceiling. White River. All right. The fuck was that? Oh, are you serious? Let us know if you have any questions. Fuck off. I hate those little assistants. You know, why are you fucking bothering me? Yeah, this is kind of it. So when we think about the scene, like where is the lighting here? I like coffered. It's a dope word. Aloha got some messages to write and send, but I thought I'd find a stream to lurk in while I'm jerking. Yeah, well, this is just going to be me rambling like an idiot while we try to fix this very bougie chapter. So it's a good place to park and just hear some homeless man rambling in the background. I swear on my name, Revel rambled on. He's through his hands. So, like, with some. Ugh. Uh, no, he wouldn't throw his hands. Yeah, that's more like it. All right. Oh. Nah. Mm-hmm. That's is it like kind of where I'm trying to get with the character. She's just like, he raised a fist to the air in support of the Black Lives Matter movement and trans lives worldwide. Like the institutional oppression of these wizards shall not stand. People who have polymorphed themselves into another gender have just as many rights and hopes and dreams as. Oh my god. Yeah, what's going on there? Like, yeah, I just saw my camera black out for a fucking hot second there. OBS had crashed earlier in the day. I wonder if I'm just drawing too much power, or it's possible that that guy's overheating. All right, I still got some electric happening around here. Ooh, yeah, I'm not looking forward to all the bugs that will crop up in the system. Honestly, it would be kind of like an interesting story. Um, to examine like the plight of the transgenderinos through like Polyjuice Potion or whatever there. I've seen some really top notch shit posts about like Polyjuice Potion and Harry Potter. Really like greasy nerds have let their fecund imaginations run hog wild with that shit. And I applaud all this slash fiction that's out there. I really think it is a great way to Dark Elf Lives Matter. I hear that they retconned all their racism and like slavery out of Dark Elves in like 5e for whatever reason, which is why that was like the whole thing that was cool about them. They were like this evil underground empire for to have like your renegade Dark Elves that like start worshiping the Druid god and so forth. What up, Salvatore? But mm, So I wonder if yeah, there's definitely like something wrong with my scene because it's like taking a while to get that Wi-Fi going. Um, so what I'm thinking of here is let's just go to the thesaurus. CIA tap it. Yeah, I can just feel like a little bit of lag in everything I'm doing. Uh, yeah, I was thinking about meniscuses the other day when I was just thinking about measuring coffee. Yeah, how to read a meniscus, right? Concave meniscus. Um, this was important at some point there. Molecules are strongly attracted to each other rather than the wall of the container. Um, and so then a meniscus here appears in a straight line instead of any curvature. Water in some plastic containers. No meniscus makes measuring very easy. Measure this. Oh, okay. So you measure from the center of the meniscus, whether it's concave or convex. Oh, okay. Um, yeah, I don't fully understand. That's kind of all right. So you go from the bottom of the gap or whatever. The reason why we're doing this is we want to talk about some bookshelves with bowed shelves. Yeah. No, well, he wouldn't pace because he has a bruised groin right here. So yeah. Elshala blinked at the outburst. She swept her eyes around the bedchamber to remind him they were alone, and there was no need to shout. As usual, Revel was oblivious. So I like that change uh, to the change of to her POV is going to be a strong one for this scene because they fuck later in this chapter. And so if we drop the word bedchamber right here, the reader is kind of like, oh, okay, like something might happen. We build like a little bit of anticipation just through that word. So it's not just like they like skip a line and then his dick is inside of her. Um, uh, as usual, Revel was oblivious. as if it too had wronged him. And in terms of the relationship between these two characters, she's just using him for his body, really and truly. So that needs to go through. Even though he has a brute, we get into that. Like it's all within the scene. Um, yeah, he got kicked in the balls a little bit earlier, and they have like there's a nice dynamic to their relationship that emerges as a result of that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see. So what was I have to think about this in terms of what gay men have said to me before. So I think jawline is pretty important to gay men. I don't know how much women care about a jawline. Um, yeah. Yeah. Um, what is Yeah, I don't like that. Mm-hmm. No, recently she didn't sigh. We already cut that up. We didn't get there, but I don't like talking about wind sighing in any case because it's like a little bit cliche. The first two or three chapters of the story are just going to be murder to fucking fix. Um, but we'll get into the hang of it there. Let's use his full name here. Oh. We play pretty hard on him being an oaf throughout the book, but part of the edit is making his character not so stupid that people don't want to read about him. Candlelight. Ugh. Ugh. It's like a fucking bodice ripper over here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, it's not an initial. It doesn't require a period. Um, it's just like a nobility thing in this particular world. So just we'll only use it a few different places. But yeah, it's just how it is. Oh yeah, yeah. Also, don't worry about like my bad. This is as painful for me as it is for you right now. So it's just gonna be tough to fix this chapter. POV reassigns are always kind of difficult, and just like we didn't. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, we don't want to separate the two pieces of so if we make that change, yeah, like I see what you're saying, where these clauses could potentially be separated by a period, but we definitely wouldn't want to. Um, they're related clauses. More appropriate would be yeah. I would just put like an and there to conjoin the two. But yeah, thunder rumbled in the distance and wind. But ultimately, it's just like a faulty construct in any case. So we're you're probably right in that a semicolon is appropriate. But again, I try to avoid them wherever I can. And I don't think we're going to use any of that. I think we're still in the trying to get a good paragraph out here. All right, so I swear on my name. Yeah, yeah, yeah. As if it too had been. Oh, you do need a fucking comma there. Is it worth like having all these commas and shit? All right, that's a little bit better. I'm gonna give you a point for that comma. It is a legitimate one. Um, all right, so to there. I swear on my name, Revel rolled on. He raised his fist at the coffered ceiling as if it too had wronged him. For each comma, you add an English teacher's heart, smiles, and heaven. Honestly, like for the majority of my writing career has been about taking out commas and putting in periods because I just do these wholly gratuitous run-on sentences for hours and days and years and months, and it's rough. You'll see it all throughout this book. Didn't you forsake your name? Yeah, that's better. God, Look at all this, all these efforts to improve this. Look at all this shit. I explained my run-on sentence habit with a big run-on sentence, but I fixed it. Yeah, I did fix it. Yeah. I do so many run-on sentences because that's how like my inner monologue is just one unending sentence moving from topic to topic without a yeah, like I can't do the whole. I should learn that song. Uh, it's so useful all the time there. So I like needled and drew blood, but this is like a little ham-fisted. Um, mhm. Oh, I like the way. God, that would be a fucking great title for something. Blood Drawn. 'Cause it sounds a little bit like Dawn. And yeah, fucking hold on. I'm gonna save that for a fucking story. I'm sure somebody's done it already. But the nice thing about book titles is they're not unique. Like I could put out a book called The Fountainhead tomorrow, and it could just be about a guy who can't stop jacking off. um, if it seems like I've used the word reminder recently, it's because we've been going over and over the same sentences again and again. Oh yeah, yeah, we did use it. Um, yeah, yeah. No, you're absolutely right there. Because she reminds him that they're alone with her glance. Yeah, man, this is so that's a good edit right there. Actually, very solid. Repeated words is one of those things that I always catch them like way too late. Like after a book is fucking printed, and afterward I'm like, ah, oh, why do I use now 5 times in one paragraph? Um, it's something I wish like the editors I work with were more astute because I don't like it as a reader. So that is a good edit. Mm-hmm. Over and over. There we go. Yeah, like I hate that shit. So let's take that, and we can tell we can highlight their relationship. Yeah, yeah. I've been meaning to write like some. I want to write like some detective shit and a western at some point, just to get into. And I want to like if I get an idea for either of those, I'm gonna try to write it in a way that would make like a good screenplay. I don't want to write a screenplay or whatever, but I just like the idea of setting like the constraints of being like you have 2 hours to tell this story, and writing something that would fit within that whole thing, like an eye to like the structure of scenes and so forth. Um, 'Cause, with like fantasy novels, they're fucking sprawling. There's no limit to what you can do. And I'd like to see what I can do with 2 hours of somebody's attention. With I love I'm not much of a Western reader, honestly. I've never read like Louis L'Amour or whatever, but I'm a huge fan of James Elroy, like L.A. Confidential, Black Dahlia, White Jazz. Even though White Jazz is a little like tough to read, but I like that like hard boiled, fucking hokey, racist style of writing that he has. Um, Not that he's racist, but all of his characters are just super duper racist and like beating on black people like it's fucking 1776. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ari, you missed like earlier this week. We edited 3 short stories. They're often harder to write than novels. No, they're not. They're really not. Just in terms of like the overall effort, but you have to agonize over them more. They take much more polishing, and you need a stronger idea because you have less time to get it across. So, and it's really like a little bit of a whole different art. I hate that you're supposed to put a period to cap these here. I'm not gonna do it here because. Yeah, let's check out the religion. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then this is where we have to. Yeah, L is El Shala. They're the same fucking thing. Um, yeah, it's actually kind of like an awkward fucking three-letter name to throw into here, or three syllable name. So yeah, all those are capitalized. Yeah. um, let's see that versus which. So that's a good point versus that versus which. So throughout the story, her diction and her grammar need to be perfect throughout the story because she is a sorceress. So it's a really good point to consider as we're like working through these are very rough initial chapters. I identified chapter 1 and chapter 2 as the worst chapters in this entire book of something like 120 different probably chapters. Um, uh, but this is better anyhow. It's stronger just to take out both and just put it right there. So I'm gonna set Era up with yet another. Damn, Era. So you're already in second place, and if Logic continues to be drunk on a Saturday morning, you could. Um, no, no, no. Like, so actually, those are usually pretty good corrections. But generally, like in a book, I'll just like hand wave it away, like, oh yeah, they're just in vernacular or whatever. In terms of like the characters that you find in this book, Revel and El Shala should be exacting. Like they should have. Yeah, you see where I'm going black there? I wonder if that's a heat thing or whatever. I'll check the connections on some of our cabling and so forth, but it's probably just everything's overheating in the summer. uh, um, so, in terms of the characters that you find in this book, and this is me explaining for my own benefit as well, there are significant differences in education between our primary characters. Like Fish is going to be barely literate for the most part. El Shala is literate. Revel V. Ramos will be literate. Arath will be literate. He comes much later. And Revel V. Ramos will not be initially literate, but I think he starts to learn to read, not Revel, but Rigel. So one of the things that we have to think about in this book is that we have a character named Rigel and we have a character named Revel, and they are close together, and several people have said like it's confusing that their names are so close to each other. I really like I like both names, so I haven't made that change yet. If one of them does change, it will probably have to be Rigel, because he's less established in this fantasy world. And also, like, Rigel is a name from Earth mythology. So, yeah, like, really good feedback in general. I hope I did give you a point for that one. But, so, here, she's like, didn't you forsake your name? And she's, like, needling him. This is just her, like, fucking around with him at this point. No, I think contorted with consternation is too much. And here we want to have like the kind of interplay between these two characters, where she is always toiling with him. She is always in a superior position to this character. The power dynamic between them is he's stupid and she's in control. Um, yeah, I can get dunked on by my points per hour. I mean, they're good points too. They're good points, and they're good points at the very beginning of the book where they're the most important. So, and it's shit that I wouldn't have gotten on my own. So, thank you so much for that. Hmm. Flummoxing this oaf was her second. That's not a good sentence. Um, yeah. Smiling at his consternation. Flummoxing this oaf was her second favorite thing to do with him. I like that. I like that we're, again, leading into the fact that there is some romantic tension between these characters, and that we show her like contempt for him, but it is a contempt edged with the fact that she's railing him, which is I guess how all of my relationships have worked ever. I actually got to hang out with a couple recently, who are some of my favorite people, and the dynamic between them is very much like he's built himself up to be kind of like an amusing fool, very very smart guy, but he enjoys the role of being the butt of jokes and everything, and like so much of their dynamic is just like this again, and they're glorious people to hang out with as a result. I'm so happy that I get to fucking see people again and like have my nerd board game club and everything. Speaking of which, I might play this new game, Oath, not Oath, later this week. Did I? All right. I like her reply too. Why swear at all? Just do it. Be a man. I was about to put in that his eyebrows raised at her tone, but one of my notes for the book is like, God, fucking cool it with the eyebrow raising already. I'm like worse than Robert Jordan with his fucking skirt smoothing and pigtail tugging and shit. Ugh. Uh, should be upon whom should I swear? So he has to have good grammar. Uh, I can't. I don't know if that would be who or whom. um, uh, upon who shall I swear? Um, yeah. Like I don't know that he is going to be as proper as she is. I may have to like walk back my like her grammar should be perfect because I just don't know enough grammar to make her grammar perfect. I really don't. Like as soon as you're not on the stream, I don't have that ability. Um, and I'm not gonna fucking sit down with Strunk and a grammar primer and try to make it happen. It's not part of my character. Um, who shall I swear upon then? The Most High. And so this is meant to be contemptuous. Um, the Most High are a sort of like paganistic religion thing that was alluded to a little bit in the first chapter, but we need to get whom shall I swear upon? Yeah, I don't like it. All right, so we could turn this more into like the dynamic that we wanted. Hard fucking chapter, man. I'm hopeful that others are better. I like to. This was one where it got picked up for like the second round by a major publishing house, right? Which is a huge fucking deal. And I've gone into that. Literally, like maybe like 1 in 1,000 books will get picked up in that way. I'm about to get another rejection today or tomorrow for something that I would have really liked to get through. And going back through it, like I want to figure out why, right? Because I would love to get these books published, and I can see why now. This is, I think it was like 2016 or whatever. I tried to, maybe 2016 or 2017, where I was trying to do this, and I've put in like a solid 4 or 5 years of getting better. And really, in the last 2 years, where we're doing like editing streams every day, now I can better see like why it was there. And initially it's just frustrating, like, oh, like it's so good, why don't you understand, and so forth. And there are good parts of it, but like a few good pieces of corn in a log of shit is still not something anybody's gonna eat. So upon whom shall I swear? Um, yeah, it's 100%. Upon whom shall I swear? The Most High? Tell that to a fly. I mean, there are some real parallels here to I don't want to call readers fucking maggots if I can avoid it. No, honestly, they're the real heroes in this thing. The readers that are like plowing through this horse shit and like this goofy and overwrought just piles of paper and so forth to get to the good stuff. That are willing to like suspend their disbelief when you so richly do not deserve it. Ugh. They're the real heroes. Mm-hmm. Totally, and I've met some readers that will consume a whole book of shit that have something new to read. Well, the other thing, like that you need to, or at least I try not to forget, is that, um, like, um, books that are like trashy or whatever place fewer demands on the reader. And a lot of people are just reading; they just want to fucking relax. Like, I don't want to figure out what a tesseract is, or I don't want to parse your labored allusion to some Greek horseshit. I just want to read about somebody getting their pussy ate, or I want to read about things exploding and she's cheating on him and the baby ain't hers, and at some point there's a werewolf. You really, some people just want to read to relax. And to capture that market, we try to make our language as clear as we possibly can. Um, oh yeah, I'm not done writing this. Please don't edit the sentences until I finish writing them. But you're probably right. Um, Yeah, not always easy to. Well, the other part is if I start like pontificating about some other nonsense, often I'll get distracted and forget as you're ever done with a sentence. I'm usually faster than this. Okay, so let's so unfortunately, we lose our ability to give this description of her, right? So, and like we can think a little bit about what we want this character to look like, just to like show their power dynamic. Or is she taller than him? You know, why is she able to get away with bossing this oaf around? All right, so hard blue, icy. Yeah. So you can see this is all like POV of the previous character, where we no longer get to do that. That whole thing gets cut. But I might need to keep it for reference because I think this might be the only place in the book where we talk about what she looks like. Mm-hmm. Did we already do the thunder? Oh, we can't get into C there. No, Mez 09 is just like found this like wandering across Twitch, I think. Although the name is like kind of familiar, but I think this is just a Twitch user. Oh yeah. How do we describe the wind earlier? Mm-hmm. No. No, I like that. Thunder rumbled in the distance, heralding the storm. Revel's cheeks reddened, and Revel's cheeks reddened, and his eyes dropped to the polished marble floor. She'd shut him up at last. Outside, the wind began to whip around the tower. The storm cometh. That's rough right there. Do we even need to say heralding the storm? I think it's a little, maybe a little much. Thunder rumbled across the bay, heralding the storm. I had it before with heralding the storm. Like this? Yeah, if you enjoy it, I can keep it. But I don't remember exactly what I had before. Outside, the wind began to whip around the tower. Thunder rumbled across the bay, heralding the storm. All right, let's go with that. Okay, let's do the. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Did we already do like the whole flickering candlelight fucking? Mm-hmm. She'd more like relish kind of the emotion than Mhm, mhm. Yeah, this is a big handicap is that I just haven't read like a lot of women's fiction. I should probably read like one or two of their top-notch things, and like maybe wear some of their underwear while I'm at it. But I should really no, I really should spend like a little time uh, reading like one or two strong romances, right? Because they sell, they really fucking sell. Um, and so just to get a feel for what you can get away with there. It's not like I'm going to get a ton of women readers, but the few that do stagger in here, there might as well be like you can't just have urinals in your toilet, is what I'm saying. Anyhow. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like that. All right, so this is our like fucking romance here. Revel's cheeks reddened and his eyes dropped to the polished marble floor. She'd shut him up at last. Outside, the wind began to whip around the tower. Thunder rumbled across the bay, heralding the storm. The candlelight flickered across Revel's face. El Shalad drank in his jawline and cheekbones and took a step closer. If only he never talked. I like that. Yeah, honestly, so much better than what we had before. Um, ba, 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 ba. And then, how long have we been at this here? I have to go wash a motorcycle in a second. Mm-hmm. Ba, 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 ba. And they don't actually fuck in this chapter. El Shalad. Oh yeah, we don't get they haven't got the polyjuice potion yet, so. All right. So, I'm like figuring out how this would work or whatever. She's like here and bu, 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 bu. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So she is like, uh, hmm. Oh wow, I could make this actually really fucking dirty here if I felt like it. Um, let's see. Uh, let's get the names for the three knuckles. I think this is only like a medical term. Like you would probably say like, what are the fist knuckles? How do you name your knuckles? First major knuckle. Yeah, none of minor, major, minor. Relationship in the palm. The metacarpophalangeal, MCP, interphalangeal. Well, it's obviously none of this is useful. Finger and knuckle names. All right, so base knuckle, middle knuckle, and top knuckle. I think base knuckle is something you can go like that. Which hand did she fucking take? Also, um, so yeah, we're not done with the sentence. All right, so two characters facing each other right here, right? So she uh, takes, and his hands are fucking. Oh man. So she is doing this number right here, but she would take this hand, right? Blah blah blah. He's like there, and it would be this guy right there. Oh fuck, this is uh anterior dorsal joining phalangeal. Yeah, like sounds like interior crocodile alligator. What do we got here? So on his side, so he would be like that right there. It would be his right hand against her left cheek, and then she would kiss 1, 2, 3, bam. God damn. Uh, bu- 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 bu. Anterior dorsal joining phalangeal fuck you knuckle. Sup, mother. When was the last time you saw somebody actually flip the bird? Or say flip the bird? I feel like it's fallen out of common use. You just call people the N word on Twitter nowadays. Ugh, this is so much better than it was. So we can cut all this horse shit out. Yeah, and then we take out that. You sure you want his knees to actually wobble? I'm a little biased in this because I've had like knee injuries and so forth. So like knees giving out is something that actually fucking happens to yours truly right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think my own like fucking gimpy leg. It's not even super gimpy, but ugh, getting hit by that car didn't fucking help. I'll tell you that much. All right, so I'm gonna give you two because I think I've missed a couple others right here. That's not a good line. Did I use melted recently? No. No, I don't think we did. I think I think you can get away with using it, and I don't think that we use melted. I think again, it's just like rewriting the same sentence over and over again. Good luck with my Dumbledore erotica. Have to go. All right. Thank you for your help, Era. Very useful in making some sense of this corn pone fucking chapter. Jesus. I hope this improves. Dumbledore erotica. Um, we're honestly, this is just a setup for what comes next. But actually, yeah, yeah, she would bite the ham of his thumb. Okay, so that's improved. Ba 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 ba. Mm-hmm. Smut. No, we don't ever get into like actual burrito in the microwave smut right here. So in the second chapter, we establish that the daughter of one of the characters is essentially using the primary character as a gigolo, um, which plays out a little bit through the book. This particular one has like a lot of like pacts with devils and seducing and the allure of power and so forth there. Um, But even so, we just kind of like plonk. It used to just be plonked into this fucking chapter, so we're rewriting it now to try and have like a little bit more class than we had previously. Yeah, no, sorry, no 15-page blowjob scenes in this book that I'm aware of. We might have to add one, you know, just to keep the trend alive. But mm-hmm. I can't believe how difficult it is to write this gay erotica right here. But it's got to happen. Mm-hmm. If I'm as uncomfortable writing it as I am reading it, oh my god, yeah, like I'm the internal cringe is so deep, but really and truly, I'm much less abashed since some of the truly epically uncomfortable scenes that we had in Lemon Maybe, and I mean this is child's play in comparison. But uh, what are those fucking muscles at the back of your neck? Delts or something? Deep cervical floors. Oh, how about a fucking diagram? Let me see. Muscles of the neck. Mm-hmm. Yeah, admiring the broad cylindrical forearms, the nautical tattoo of an anchor, the clavicle. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Who dares to comment on my videos? What's the Discord link? All right, fine. Yeah, that's great. That's my own fault for not including it in the whole fucking thing. All right, and also, women want me. They don't really, but we'll see. What came of this? Oh, you lied to me, fucking machine. I think there's something wrong with that old Wi-Fi, to tell you the truth. But no, they must have been drawn by the fucking. Huh. Let me see. Oh no, that's probably not happening, lady. Sorry. Well, well, she's a book nerd. Oh. Just a little wider than I think I can accommodate at present there. Alas. Mm-hmm. This is the guy that get kicked in the dick. So he. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh. Let's see. Let's take out love there. That's not their relationship. Mm-hmm. So here's an opportunity to like reinforce the dynamic where he blames himself for like, oh, I should have told you that my dick was broke. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Mm, let's go to apologize. I want more like excused than apologized. Let's see. Express remorse. Yeah, no, none of those quite work. No, I don't like that either. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Yeah, I like cried. Mm-hmm. Ugh. That's as far as we're gonna go in this chapter today. Jesus. Oh yeah, it's like 10:09. I gotta get to editing. It's so slow going, but Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think that's pretty solid, actually. For got 3 pages of fucking cat and mouse over trim. So I'll tell you, it's significantly improved from what we had before. The switch to her POV is important. Then we switch to another character's POV, but we have a scene transition marker there, um, and so this is decent. The swap to her POV was successful. We lose the chance to talk about her, so we'll try to shoehorn it in the next scene. Um, but also, we established like right up front, hey, parts of this are going to be trashy, right? That's really good. I might catch like a woman in a bookstore who's reading like 5 pages in, who enjoys that kind of power dynamic or whatever there, and it's now not so abrupt that you're just like, what the fuck? Because we do like a tiny little bit of shadowing earlier. Um, all right, so it's an improvement. Still not fucking stellar, and we're not through the chapter yet, but it's more, it's better handled now. 522 words, Christ. Ugh. 522. And then, and I can't actually see how long we've been online. So I'll go off the air now. Thank you to Era and everybody that watched for whatever. Progress is slow, but it's worthwhile. And like when we're going to be doing so much rewriting, it's almost like writing an entirely different book out of the framework that we have. But slow and steady progress, and in like a year's time, we'll have a book. God, ridiculous. All right, everybody, have a good day. Enjoy your Sunday. Get outside. It's beautiful out where I am. I don't know. Maybe it's raining magma where you're at. We'll see.